evening, freaks. I'm here to drop in with Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or packed ninth house, 3 or more planets, a stellium in the ninth house, to do a little exploration of this void space that we just entered today with the great black conjunction that we got going on. It's a rare occurrence. We only see it every 7 to 9 years. This year, though, of course, with as wild and out there as the astrology has been, we're getting 3 of these events, with 2 of them culminating in this next 2-week period. The next great black conjunction will be occurring on November 30th, okay? And in between that time, we have that Sagittarius stellium new moon, so big Sag energy, okay? Front and center. The centaur is front and center. And I think that there is a lot that is coming up for you right now. You can feel the buildup of the energy, Sagittarius. You can feel that things are opening up ahead of you. And at the same time, there's this really frustrating piece of things aren't quite coming together the way that you thought they would. You had a certain vision when you first set out. I got about 18 months ago, like a year and a half ago, you set out with a very particular vision in mind. And though you can feel that, there's new stuff coming in, it's not quite looking the way that you thought it would. You've also found it really challenging to sort of have things kind of come together the way that you initially envisioned. I think you've had to give the finger to quite a few people. I think you've had to give the finger to quite a few plans, and just say, fuck it, this isn't working out the way I thought it would. I'm going to scrap that. I'm going to start again. I think a lot of this has to do with a certain financial stability that you're building for yourself. I see big money on the board, okay? I also see that there's a lot of a kind of shadow aspect around this money piece, There's something that you're trying to build here, but have you been building it from the right place? Have you been building it with the right motivation? Are the people that you're building it with, are they on the same page as you? Do they have the same vision? Are these people you can trust? Are these people that you can count on? I feel like you got somebody who is going to be coming to you. Might be in relation to this matter, okay? There might be some level of questioning. Should I really be partnering up with this person? Could potentially be a water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, coming in the shadow. This is what I saw in the pre-shuffle, okay? I feel like you're going to get some kind of word from this person. You feel a little bit on guard, though. There's something you're not quite trusting about this situation, and I think it's important to be very mindful of any moves, any decisions you're making at this time, anybody you're choosing to partner with, especially it was 3:22 on the clock when I said that, You have to really start considering, is what this person brings to the table, is this going to actually be of assistance? Is it actually going to support what I'm looking to grow here in my life? Or is it going to be more of a hindrance? It's important to really know who your team is, like who are your people, who is your inner circle, who are the people you can count on, especially when we're looking at something like this, because it looks like there's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of money on the line. And so it's not something that should be taken lightly. We do have an element that's coming in the light, okay? And that's that 4 of Spades energy, which is really about a certain level of letting go of control on one hand, maybe not being so self-oriented in terms of like what you can get your hands on for your security, maybe thinking more in terms of what's best for all parties involved. You might be put in the uncomfortable position of having to divide up assets. This may have come through a death. There might have been a death in the family. You might be in this position of being like executor of the estate, or are otherwise in some kind of position of authority when it comes to divvying up assets, where you have to really consider what's best for all parties. It's put a lot of stress on you. It's put a lot of stress on you because at the same time you've had to take on a lot of additional responsibility in this situation. And there is a feeling like I should be compensated for this, you know? Almost like people are being greedy, you know? They're kind of wanting to get their hands on more that really is rightfully their share. Because you've had to take on a huge responsibility in this matter is what I'm getting. This may be in relation to some kind of action taken by an air sign energy. We got the Jack of Spades coming up. It is coming up in the shadow. There might have been some arguments around this. This would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay? There's some kind of argument that breaks out in relation to this. There's some kind of harsh words that were spoken, some kind of harsh words that were exchanged. I believe this is something that's going to be coming to light, because when we're looking at this void period, we're looking at things that are going to start to be illuminated, okay? The shadow is going to start percolating and really bubbling to the surface, those last things that we need to really clear out of our space and wrap up so we're ready to move into the new cycle. But first comes the exposure, and the exposure is going to be quite great, and especially in the case of Sagittarius, because you got your new moon coming in to kick off your season, and it is a Sagittarius stellium. We got right here that there is a Queen of Diamonds on the board, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? And this is factoring in here. This also is showing, again, this money piece that you're very much focused on preserving what is yours, preserving what you have built. Perhaps you are going through some kind of separation. Maybe you're going through some kind of separation with an air sign. And this is difficult because you built these assets together in the time that you were, you know, living together or married. You know, some of you are going through a divorce, and you're really wanting to preserve what's yours. And maybe you feel like somebody is trying to take a little more than their share. You might get some kind of legal notice about this, some kind of legal action being taken for somebody to kind of get a stronghold on the finances. Definitely, I think this is in relation to love, okay, because we got the Jack of Hearts here, and it is coming up in the shadow, right? So there might be a little bit of a manipulation involved here too. Might come in from a Queen of Diamonds. This is another way to look at this, because this movement, this action that's coming in here, it is coming in with the Queen of Diamonds, Earth sign energy. This may have been somebody that you have worked with in the past. You might have, you know, worked with this person, done some kind of collaborative project with them in the past, maybe worked at the same office together, or did some kind of collaborative, you know, business deal with this person. This might have been somebody that you have done business with before, but maybe there was also like kind of this instance where the lines of business and pleasure got a little bit blurred, you know. Maybe you had some romantic involvement with this person. I think that there's somebody that, you know, you feel like a connection with, and yet we see there's some kind of movement happening here with this individual where there's questionable motives. I do see there's some kind of argument that breaks loose. There's some kind of argument that breaks loose, and there's also something in relation to love. Maybe it's in relation to a questionable love offer. Maybe you're questioning this person's true desires and making this offer, questioning the place that this offer is coming from. Are they just wanting to get their hands on your assets? Are they too focused on the coin? You know, that Queen of Pentacles energy. We see that this offer is going to be extended. There's a forward motion here. Pick what side you're on. Either you're making this offer is coming toward you, but there's also at the same time this question of motive. Can this person be trusted? I think that you're feeling a little suspicious about this energy. I also feel like there's going to be some strong words with this person. There's something that happened. There was something that happened in the past where maybe something was promised and wasn't delivered. Somebody feels like they kind of got played in this situation. So I feel like there's like this unresolved argument here. Unresolved argument, and there's still some hurt feelings, but I feel like this communication has really been suppressed. And it's almost like the communication is being suppressed and withheld as a means to control. So I don't know if somebody likes to like ghost or go into the silent treatment as a way to kind of manipulate situations, feel like they got a stronghold so that when they do come around, it's almost like you're just so ready to just take them back in because you just want the argument to be over. You want the separation to be over, that you kind of get knocked out of your more intuitive knowing that, you know, you should question things a little bit more. You kind of take this person at face value a little too much when there's like indications that are on the board that you should look at things a little bit deeper in this matter. Let's see if we can get any further clarification on that. There's going to be a lot of offers that are going to be coming in right now, you know, and some of these offers are things that lure us back to repeat patterns of the past. It's like, do you want to hop on the merry-go-round again? Do you want to go around and get the same view that you had before? You know, there's a need for people to kind of wake up out of this illusion. They're like, oh, it'll be different this time. No, it's like when somebody shows you who they are, trust them. There's a need to really not pull the wool over our eyes collectively, and really to have the willingness to see things as they are rather than as we wish that they would be, you know, because these people that are coming back around the bend, it's sort of like we get tested in our resolve to grow and to like go to the next level. Are we really sincere about our desire to transform our lives, which means maybe letting go of some people, letting go of some habits, letting go of some things that may have really played an important role in our life at one point that we have a certain attachment to, but yet we recognize that it causes us to act out of these really unhealthy places in the ways that it holds us back and limits us. And also, especially if you're like trapped in some kind of trauma bond with somebody where you're going over these same old cycles again and again, where you feel used, you don't feel appreciated, you feel like you get played with emotionally, that you're given these empty promises, things that cause you to invest and, you know, hang on when it would have served you better to walk away a long time ago and just let it ride, you know, because this person has just repeatedly kind of taken you through this same disappointing experience over and over again. And yet it's become more an exercise of proving your worth to yourself to try to like give this person the benefit of the doubt every time. And yet you're not recognizing the way this actually sabotages you, because you are each time eroding your trust more and more in yourself, because you get this intuitive hit, you know, like, you know, the score, you've been here before, you've been here so many times. And something that's often ignored about Sagittarius is very gregarious and very big-hearted, okay? And they would rather just have everybody just be able to effortlessly move into that place of free exploration, of connection, to enjoy each other's company, to have a good time, to enjoy oneself, to take it light, to take it easy. They're very open, very free. And they're also willing to think outside the box and look at relationships in a very unconventional way. And their energy is front and center right now. It's actually very harmonious. It's 14:14 on the clock when I said that. Very harmonious with this let's explore relationship and what that looks like. They can be honest. They can be honest to a fault. You know, I feel like Sag, maybe with this person, there's been times when, you know, you just spoke your truth. You spoke your truth really bluntly, and it caused a lot of pain for this person on the other side. It's like sort of looking at the role you played. I think you've been taking ownership of what you've brought to the table, but you're also going to really have illuminated for you the way that despite the fact that you've been disrespected in this connection multiple times with this person and they've used you, I feel there's this like kind of user element in this connection that's coming through. Like, it's not that they were really connecting with you and invested in you. It's more like almost like there's almost this feel of like somebody who's kind of like a clout chaser, almost like they want to be associated with you. They want the clout that gives them. They want to be able to have the perks of knowing you and having you as part of their inner circle. But when it comes to really being invested in building with you and growing with you, it's all the concerns are so superficial. It's not about anything that's going to the place of depth and heart and real like exploration in relationship that you're wanting to dive into. And this person is like, they've taken you to this place and disappointed you time and time again. I mean, we see that here with the 5 of hearts, okay? And I feel like you took a real affirmative stance where you moved away from this energy. You said, you know what? I've been disappointed enough. And I've learned my lessons. I want to go beyond that. And I can't start to have a different experience until I have the courage to walk away from what I know ain't going to cut it for me. And I think that you did let things go. 16:16 on the clock. This put you in alignment. It put you in alignment for the blessings that are supposed to come in for you. Because look at this. Now we got the Queen of Hearts showing up in the light. Okay, so this is that true, like, you know, love, fulfillment that you're looking for. Somebody who is really ready to go to that place with you, okay? Could be water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right? It was interesting because in your pre-shuffle, I saw a shadow water sign energy that was factoring in, that was coming towards you, that you might not be trusting. So this is almost giving me the impression of maybe there's somebody that you're going to be in a process of healing a connection with them. They're going to be coming your way. This actually might be a very positive thing, but it could potentially be activating, because I feel like when you were with this person before, you had a kind of volatile connection. There were unhealthy elements about your relationship. These are things that I don't feel like you've ever really fully addressed. There might have been some kind of addiction playing a role as a third party element in your relationship that's coming in. I'm getting like alcoholism very strongly here. I also think that somebody in this connection had a roving eye, and that was a big problem. I feel in particular that was a problem for the feminine in the situation. It made her feel very uneasy. It made her feel very uneasy. There's still a lot that needs to be healed here. This person is coming forward, wants to have some communication with you, but I feel like there's also somebody in the mix who's kind of like blocking this connection, like blocking this opportunity for this healing to happen. It feels like it's an earth sign energy, maybe somebody who's played the role of a friend before, but maybe there was also some kind of attraction, because I do feel like there's a little bit of this seduction element that's involved in the mix. I think that this Queen of Pentacles energy, this Queen of Diamonds, may have had some attraction to you. Maybe was coming across like, I just want the best for you, was giving advice, but it was actually driving a wedge between this person you're trying to heal and sort things out with. And this person you're trying to heal and sort things out with very well could be this person that you're in process of dividing up assets with. You got this third party here that's creating kind of a complicating interference here. There's definitely a need for things to be more above board. It feels like there's too much talking about matters with people that are none of their business. That's what it feels like. And that's creating a big issue. Somebody's got a big mouth. Somebody's talking about things that are not their business to share. Somebody's prying a little bit too much. It's creating division in a situation that actually could really compromise your assets too. I do feel there's like some dividing of assets, some dividing of a household involved. This could be in relation to a divorce. Yeah, and lovers are factoring into this mix here. You see this right here with the 15 lovers, okay? So this is a matter of love, and right behind that we got poverty, okay? So somebody's taken somebody to the poorhouse. Now, if this is a case where, maybe you got involved with somebody through work, this is possible. You got involved with somebody through work and now it's causing disruption on the work environment. It's also gotten wind back to, your partner. If you're in a committed relationship, this could be a big problem. We definitely see that the assets are being affected. This is somebody that you have mixed business with pleasure. There's been a certain line that's been crossed in this connection. And it's compromising another relationship. I feel like it's compromising a relationship that you were already in, a pre-existing relationship. I just got maybe this person, you share a child with them, and that makes things a little bit more complicated. I do feel like it's somebody that, though you have a history with them, there's like this there's this need to really work through things in a very mindful manner. Because there's been a lot of problems in this relationship in the past. And there's something corrupt here that's happening with the money piece, okay? We got thief coming in with mature man and despair. All right? So there's somebody here that's not being on the up and up. And I feel like they're coming in and they're making some kind of emotional offer. This could be somebody that you've had involvement with in the past. Maybe this is even somebody who's come in between you and your person, This is somebody that maybe you got involved with on the job, you started up an affair. News got back to, your person about this. Now you're going through a huge fallout in your relationship. You may have thought, okay, I'm going to go for this person, the one that you were fooling around with, because they made you feel a certain way, and this person actually may just be trying to work you for your money. It's going to leave you in despair. This is one of those things where it's pick what side you're on, too. This could be a situation that's affecting you, that your partner has been engaged in this, that your partner met somebody at work, and that they've kind of got suckered in by them, but this person's just trying to use them for their money. We see that there's a lot of heartache in this situation, though. There's heartache that's caused by this dynamic, and this is something that's getting exposed and it's coming forward. There's a lot of third-party stuff that's been going on. There's definitely a love tone to this. This is like a business and love situation where things got complicated because the money piece got involved. And there is some dividing assets coming about. This is all really going to be coming to a head here. It's interesting though. There is some unexpected income in the mix. This just got a little bit more interesting. There's definitely somebody who's left in despair in this situation. We know we got a thief in play. We got unexpected income here. And there's definitely lovers involved. This could be two people coming together to try to work somebody to get their hands on some unexpected income they got. Going back to that original piece I talked about, if you're somebody who has to, divide up assets from an estate, something along these lines, this could be two people, coming together and kind of working you to try to get their hands on that money. I think that's something that you need to be very, very aware of here. Let's do a cut of the deck energy. Protect what's yours, man. Yeah. What's this? This flipped over. This is not what. This does have to do with somebody who has been in ill health. We got bad health with the cough in here. So I think there's something going on here. It involves a house, okay? And the dividing up of assets. Somebody, I feel like somebody has been sick for a long time. You're dealing with somebody who has been potentially going through hospice care. I think that things are kind of coming to a head in this situation, or this recently happened. It's possibly something that's already happened and you're currently like going through funeral preparations, things along these lines. Or this is something that could be coming in. It feels like it's not something in the very distant future though. It feels like it's kind of it's near, okay? Something is coming in around this. I think you're going to find out that there's a lot of assets on the line and you're in some position of responsibility when it comes to this. You're going to find that there's going to be people coming to you, in particular, somebody that you worked with in the past that I feel like you also had romantic involvement with is going to be kind of, coming around. I think you do need to be aware of this energy. There is somebody you need to do healing with in this situation too. This is somebody I feel like you had a very serious relationship with, like you either lived with them or you were married to them. Very serious connection. Could potentially be a mother figure too, but I do feel like there was a lot that needs to be healed in that connection. It's like a trauma bond. This person's going to be coming forward. I think people are going to be coming forward that you haven't had to deal with in a long time because of this event, because of this person's illness, and it looks like they're getting close to their time of needing to transition. I don't think this is anything that's going to be unexpected. This is something that's been going on for a while. Things have been kind of getting hammered out with this situation. But there's some mature man in the mix and he doesn't have the best intentions. There's some kind of thievery involved here where somebody's trying to get their hands on something that is not rightfully theirs. And there's emotional manipulation piece involved in this where maybe somebody is pretending to have affection, pretending to have care for somebody. Be very careful in particular of situations where there's somebody who is suddenly being very attentive to this person who's been ill, okay? If you do have somebody that you're currently tending to that's been in hospice care, that maybe doesn't have their full mental faculties and is in the process of potentially signing away their rights, okay? Because there's that like legal element coming into the mix that needs to be mindful of when we're looking at the dividing of assets. This is something that you need to be live to, because there is something going on that isn't quite right in this situation. And I think you know who to question. Make sure you're keeping an eye on this. I think that you're going to be surprised to discover that you have been named as a beneficiary. I feel like this is coming through. This is like some kind of windfall moment that you're not expecting, and it brings a lot of elements around you, people you can't quite trust, okay? Yeah, look at this. Boom, wealthy man, right on the cut of the deck energy. You're coming into some big money, so there's a need to really take care of your assets. At the same time, you're closing out cycles with people that you have very challenging dynamics with, and one of these is a trauma bond. It's very important that this person is handled in a respectful way, but there's somebody that's interfering in the mix that wants to block you kind of healing and working things out with this person, I think because they feel like it could jeopardize their position and their piece of the pie. There's somebody here who has their eyes on your money. They feel like they deserve it. They feel like they deserve it. They feel like they should benefit from your sudden wealth, okay? They feel like, hey man, I've done my time. I put in my time and energy. I've been with you how long? Now you just book on me and you're just going to run with all this money? No, there's an expectation here, okay? There's some woman that expects that she's going to be taken care of. And maybe there was some pillow talk and some promising that this person would benefit financially. And I think that they're going to want to hold this person to it. Pick what side you're on. But there's definitely a need here to protect assets. And most importantly, I want to say protect the person who's actually in hospice. Protect the person who is, the one who is the true rightful owner of this fortune that is choosing to, leave it in your charge. You want to make sure that they are being well taken care of and that they're safe and protected. So be live to this, because there's a lot coming forward over the next 2 weeks around this that will be illuminated for you. Protect your assets. And if you don't trust someone, trust that.